been lit, boy. Everything goes.
We now return you to regular programming.
Well, guys, we're pumped tonight because we have a Major League Baseball pitcher on the phone right now, Andrew McKirahan. How you doing, sir?
Hey, guys. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. We hope you are obviously doing good during this crazy quarantine time, man.
Yeah, everything's good. I'm actually down here in Austin, Texas. Things have kind of escalated a little bit, but family's good. Still employed, which is always nice. I'm grateful for that. So yeah,
That's
everything's
awesome.
been good. So
That's awesome. We actually have family down there in Tomball, Texas. So
yeah, it's a big state, man. I know exactly where that is. Kind of in the Houston area.
It's crazy. It's like you guys are a little late to the COVID party. I mean, early on, like our numbers up here in Pennsylvania, since we're so close to New York and New Jersey, we are averaging thousands a day. And it's like it's all take a big spin now down south. You guys are getting really hammered.
in Florida too.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if I feel like we opened up earlier than everybody else, and I've been out playing baseball and kind of back to our normal lives, and then boom, the past few weeks have been a lot higher numbers. So it's interesting.
Now, how's your quarantine been, man? How you keeping yourself just
In shape and stuff.
and sane? Also, I mean, just having things to do and not be bored all the time.
Golly. So I'm actually, I retired in 2018 from baseball and finished up school here at Texas. I went to the University of Texas in Austin, and then I've been working. My buddy Chris O'Dowd, who was a catcher when I was with the Braves, started a baseball virtual reality company here in Austin. So we've been super busy, as you can imagine, without games going on. Players from really all levels want to stay sharp and see a ton of live pitching. So we've actually been super busy. And then aside from that, I enjoy getting outside, and it's hot here. So it's not hard to stay in shape when all you're doing is sweating.
Now that's interesting too. That virtual reality. What exactly is that going into?
Yeah, so we're called Win Reality, WIN Reality, and what we do is we take game footage and game data of each pitcher. So whether we're working with a major league team, a college program, or even youth level players, they're able to see that exact pitcher in a virtual reality headset, and just giving them the opportunity to see hundreds of game pitches in 10 or 15 minutes.
Wow, that's awesome, actually.
Yeah, it's been really fun, man, and we're kind of the only ones in this space doing it, and it's really exciting. We have softball coming out here in a few weeks, and it's been fun.
That's sick, because could you technically take that into like almost studying for an upcoming pitcher, like if you're getting ready to play a pitcher?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So what we do for our major league teams and a lot of our big D1 programs is take the exact opposing pitcher they're going to be facing, take the video footage and the data, and recreate that pitcher in VR in a hologram form. So the players are literally able to see that pitcher before they're going to see him.
Wow, it's like a Garrett Cole cheat sheet.
Yeah, exactly.
That is really, really amazing. It's amazing how far things have come over the years.
I know it's scary with all this shut down and universities and schools, not going to be open in the fall. They've kind of switched to virtual reality where, this technology is crazy enough where you can almost identically simulate a real life situation. And so with baseball, we've kind of followed that same model.
Now, Andrew, you're actually our first pitcher that we have had on our podcast. Baseball has actually been kind of slow for us as getting onto our podcast. It's mostly been football, UFC fighters, and a hockey player or two. What is the grind like for a baseball player? I mean, 160 plus game season.
A lot of games.
Man, it's a long season to say the least. You mix in spring training, which can be 6 to 8 weeks as well. And I was a relief pitcher, man, so it was like, you got to be ready to throw every day, and it is a grind. I'm assuming every sport is kind of like that. Obviously, football and UFC especially are probably a little more physically tasking on the body. But when you're a kid, that's all you want to do, right? Is play professionally and
Oh yeah, absolutely.
play in the big leagues. And so I was lucky enough to play for a little bit. I have a couple years in the big leagues, and I blew out my elbow twice, but yeah, it was fun, man. It's a fun ride. You learn a lot about yourself and just going through challenges and how to interact with a ton of different people.
That definitely is a fun ride. Did you enjoy your time, like working your way up through the minor? I know some guys, they don't like it. They don't like being down there, but I feel like you learn a lot going through the minors.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. Getting to play, you don't make a ton of money in the minors, but you're getting to play a kid's game and travel all around the country, meet a lot of awesome people. Some guys hate it. I really liked it and met some amazing people, lifelong friends. And obviously you have the opportunity to make it up to the major leagues where, to me, if you play a day there, it's all worth it.
But you know what's amazing? It doesn't matter that if you only played a few years. You made it somewhere where thousands of people have tried to get to have not. Absolutely. I mean, the amount of people that get drafted every year, minus this year, of course, you think about thousands of people get drafted, and their story just begins, and they might not ever be heard of, but you made it to big time.
Yeah, I'm lucky, man. You're right. A lot of guys want to make it, and not everybody gets to. I guess, the way I looked at it was if I could, get another jersey the next day, I had an opportunity to keep going and play as long as I could. So
it's true.
I mean,
definitely lucky.
We had Rajay Davis on from the Cleveland Indians, and he told us when he went in, he actually had to borrow gas money to go to his tryout.
Yeah,
because
he did.
He just didn't have anything.
You give it all, man. You give it your all.
And he went down that same path as you, and he made it to the pros, had a big home run in the World Series off Chapman, which is amazing.
Yeah, that guy's a stud, by the way. And yeah, there's a lot of blue collar guys. I'd say 90-95% of guys that make it are blue collar that really don't come for much. And then you put your blood, sweat, and tears into each day and to working out and your nutrition and by the grace of God, some guys get the chance to make it.
Absolutely. Now, being someone who obviously has been, through the minors, how crazy is it this year to see there not be a minor league, season? Some of these guys might not even get paid on top of that.
Well, it seems like they're trying to get rid of some of the minor league teams, the low A's and everything like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It really stinks. I see guys, getting released, and I know there's some different leagues and some different parts of the country are trying to help those guys, but yeah, it's wild, man. Who knows what tomorrow looks like? I know.
Now, Andrew, I coached baseball for 20 years. I started at T-ball with Tyler and my other son Noah, and I worked my way all the way up to the MSBL level. I never really dealt with pitchers. If you pitch on a Monday, what does the rest of the week look like for you as far as when's the next time you pick up a baseball? Like, do you throw a simulated inning? And when do you ramp back up again to get ready to pitch?
Yeah, so starters are a little bit different. They have the luxury of really being on a set schedule. In the pros, you're on a 5-day rotation. For me as a reliever, man, I had to be ready pretty much every day. In the minor leagues, you may have a couple days off, but when you're in the big leagues, man, you're getting called on pretty much every day. So it's a grind for sure, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's the opportunity of a lifetime, and it's crazy, man. It's so fun.
Now let's be honest here. How bad does it suck? Getting called into a game. Obviously, you live for those big moments. How bad does it suck, man? Coming into a game, bases loaded, no outs. The guy that was just pitching was giving up a crap ton of hits, and you got to come in and just clean up his mess now.
So to be honest, man, I lived for that. If they put me in a situation where we were getting blown out or we were up by 8 runs, it was hard for me to really lock in. But if they put me in, I remember my major league debut in Atlanta, 2015, against the Mets. I hadn't pitched an inning in big league baseball, and they called me in, and bases loaded, 1 out, tie game, like top of the 8th. And I want to say it was maybe Lucas Duda with the Mets. Anyway, man, to me, that's what it's all about. Living high pressure and just high octane, man. That's what I thrive on.
Hey, were your legs a little numb, man, when you were coming on the bullpen, running out there for your major league debut, knowing the bases were loaded?
Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills right now just thinking about that. That's what you live for, man.
Absolutely.
Andrew, I pulled Tyler after 5 pitches in a playoff game once.
It was tough, man. It was tough.
Wow.
It was tough.
5 pitches, huh? Where you hit 5 guys in a row?
No, man, I walked a guy, another guy hit a double, and then I think I walked the next guy. It was a huge game. I'm not much of a pitcher anyway. I'm more of an outfielder. He gave me the quick hook, man. He gave me the quick hook.
Andrew, what do you like? Today's typical pitcher is 6 foot, whatever, throws 90 plus miles an hour. Do you think we'll ever see a time again where we see like the Greg Maddoxes? I mean, the only one that's really like a Greg Maddox now is probably Greinke. You know, it relies on a lot of junk, doesn't barely hit 92 maybe. Do you think we'll ever see pitching like that again?
I don't think so, man. I think another guy that comes to mind when you mentioned Maddox is Kyle Hendricks of the Cubs, who's one of our close friends. But yeah, it's just, you know, everything is data driven and analytical. So, you know, I got friends who are still playing, and every day they have a radar gun, they have a high speed camera, and they're trying to, you know, throw 0.2 miles an hour harder than they did yesterday. Yeah. So now that everything's measured, we have something to kind of put guys up against everybody else. And yeah, I think the game has really changed in that aspect.
Yeah, I definitely think the game's evolved, and you have these guys. I think the MLB average for a fastball now is 95 and plus. You used to have guys that are trying just to throw as fast as they can anymore.
But you think that would be a great weapon, though, if you had somebody that came in that didn't throw as hard. You know, you see these guys, as the game advances, hitters, they're getting used to seeing fast pitching. So if you bring someone in that doesn't throw as hard, it could throw them all off.
You would think so. I agree, man. I can't tell you how many guys I played with in college and even in the minor leagues that just got everybody out. But since they threw, you know, 88 to 90, they really never got that good of an opportunity.
Now, since you played on the Braves, do you root for the Braves now? Because, like, the Braves obviously are a hot team right now with some young talent.
Yeah, I do. And really because, you know, I got to know a lot of those guys, Acuna, Ozzy, some of those young superstars I came up with and we're around a lot. So those guys are awesome. They got a great core group. And then the manager, Snitker, I had in AAA for a little bit. And that guy is an incredible, one of the best managers one of the best people I've ever been around.
That's got to be a cool feeling, too, just basically almost growing up with those guys and just seeing them at an elite level now, just dominating the game.
It is, man. I hope they get to play and showcase their talent this season because they got a really high-quality team.
Now, I got to ask you, Andrew, as a coach, my coaching mind is going crazy now. Like, I watch the Yankees a lot, and I see, like, Aaron Boone, he'll go out and he'll bring in a reliever. They say he brought in Betances, and Betances strikes out 3 batters in a row. And then he pulls them the next inning. That absolutely drives me nuts because you think the guy has great control. He's ahead and he's doing a great job. Is that the way the game is now? Like, every pitcher has a set inning, and that's basically, you don't want to hurt no one's feelings, but is that how it is now? It's not, let's just ride this guy?
Yeah, it really seems to be that way. I mean, you got so many different weapons in the bullpen now. Everyone throws 98. It's like, you know, if you got a lefty up, you can really play matchups. I want to say they have a rule now where you have to face a minimum of 3 batters.
Yeah,
that's an interesting rule, too.
Now, I don't know if that's going to affect for the 60-game sprint that they're going to have or not.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it's definitely – I know they want to speed the game up. And that's one way to do it for sure.
Now, with the 60-game season, what's your thoughts? I think that's an interesting thing. I mean, obviously, there's also a lot of people that are talking about, you know, not playing this season because they have kids, they have families. What would your thoughts be on that 60-game season?
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, I think I saw Buster Posey opted out today.
Yeah.
You know, a couple guys every day. So, at the same time, I think it's going to be awesome to let some of these minor league guys really get a shot.
I agree.
To get some big league time. And but yeah, 60 games with no fans, it's going to be interesting.
It's definitely different. We said a couple times on this podcast, you know, you're going to have that team that, you know, isn't the best, but they can get hot for a couple of games and they're going to make that wild card.
I know. Are we going to have an all-star game after 30 games?
No, the all-star game is actually canceled for this year. I think it's in Atlanta. I think it's in Atlanta next year.
That was L.A. Was it L.A.?
No, I think it's Atlanta next year.
Is it?
Yeah. But you know what? I think this is going to be awesome for the fans. I think because, you know, like I said, it ties several times now. You think of it as the All-Star break right now, and everyone's tied for first place. You know, every game is going to mean something. It's going to be very important. And, you know, look at the Nationals last year. They started out 19-37. You can't have that slow start this year.
No, you really can't. I hope they play, man. I really do.
I just think that, you know, this might be something new that they can improve on for baseball because I just think baseball's so long. I think they could shorten it a little bit. And I actually like the divisions. I mean, you look at the teams that are going to be in the American side, the American League East and the National League East that are going to be playing each other. Look at the arms in that division.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, my last question for you, Andrew, is when you were playing the game of baseball, was there ever a pitcher that you looked up to? Because obviously everyone watches highlights of a favorite player that they watch. Who was that for you?
Yeah, so growing up here in Texas, Nolan Ryan lives
Oh, yeah.
fairly close. So I think I got to catch the tail end of his career. And then, being a left-handed pitcher, Andy Pettit, I really tried to watch and emulate him. And then as I
Great
got
move.
older, yeah, man, that guy's a stud. And then David Price, I always wanted to throw really hard. He had silky smooth mechanics, still does. And so as I got older, that's someone that I really tried to emulate as well.
Wow.
I'm surprised you didn't name the Rocket, Roger Clemens. He's from Texas.
Yeah, he is, man. But, us lefties, we got to stick together.
That's true.
I have one more question too for Andrew. Now you're the only person I know that had Tommy John surgery as a pitcher.
Twice.
Does that actually make your arm stronger after the first surgery?
Hey, I think it just depends, man. I played with a good amount of guys who had one and an end of their careers. I had mine, after my first month of pro ball, I blew out, had it, and I was able to come back in about 10 months and started throwing 95, and that really kind of, put some more eyes on me and gave me a better opportunity. But I think it's just all your work ethic, whatever you put in, what you're gonna get out. Then I had my second one 4 years after that, and that one took me 15, 16 months to come back, and I was able to come back to where I was. But you're never the same after a big surgery like that. If it wasn't my elbow, it was my shoulder. And then you always have in the back of your mind, like, shoot, man, is this going to be the pitch that I do
scary.
it again?
That's scary.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you know what? I just had this pop up in my head because you're talking about Texas and everything like that. Do you think the MLB players, do you think the teams like the Yankees or other teams like the Dodgers are really that mad at the Houston Astros?
Man, I don't know. To be honest, I feel like a lot of teams do things that they probably don't want the public to know about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard a lot of speculation about a lot of different teams, but who knows if that stuff will ever get out there.
It would have been interesting to see the Astros play in front of the Yankee Stadium in front of that crowd there.
Oh, they would have torched them probably.
It just would have been interesting to see what the crowd was going to do. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're sitting back with a big sigh of relief right now because of COVID.
I know. I can't wait till they play there. That's going to be awesome.
Well, Andrew, we truly do appreciate you coming on. We hope you and your family stay safe, and just good luck with everything in life that you're doing with the VR thing. That sounds amazing, man.
Yeah. No, thank you guys, man. It was nice to meet y'all, and thanks for taking some time to chat on a Friday evening.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. You have a great rest of your night, okay?
All right. Thank you, guys. God bless you.
God bless, Andrew.
Man.
All right. See y'all. Bye.
See ya.
All right. That was awesome. It was good talk. Former Texan boy.
I love it. I just love talking to the athletes. It doesn't matter who they played for, unless it was the Eagle. Just getting the info like that.
Yeah.
It's from actually getting the perspective of what's going on. You always wonder about certain things, and it's awesome.
Got about 4 more athletes in our pocket right now. 2 were supposed to come on this week, but they, just communication doesn't get going. That's a big issue. But we got 2 definites next week. So we're excited for that, but we'll kick into some sports talk here. My phone keeps turning off my notes. But we can. You want to stay in baseball? Or you want to go right into football?
No, I actually have a little bit of notes here. A little bit of note about we talked about the hockey. They're going to be joining up into their hub cities soon. I think it's the 13th is when their camps open. The 26th is when they leave for their hubs. They're actually, the players and all the hotel staff and anyone that's going to be around a team is going to be tested every day for COVID-19.
Now, are we talking about the test that go up your nose? Or?
I don't know because there's so many different versions now. They're being super safe. I mean, they're testing everybody.
I saw a video online of this lady. She gets the left side of her throat and the right side of her throat swabbed, and then she gets it in the nose twice, and she was freaking. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I would just sit at home and be like, I can't.
The one thing I wanted to ask Andrew, I just thought of it now, is I heard that Texas has just canceled all high school football in the state of Texas.
Really?
So that these kids are going to miss a whole nother year.
Actually, I actually work with a high school kid, and he said that a lot of the Ivy Leagues close.
Yes.
So he's worried that his season's going to close. And I said it sucks for seniors who are really trying to get a scholarship or get noticed by a college team.
And the COVID thing is really legit. I mean, our worst case up here was maybe 1,500 people getting it a day. Florida, North Carolina, all those states down there, Texas, they're averaging 9,000 cases a day. The death rate in Texas and Florida is up. They're averaging over 100 people dying a day, which is it's high for that.
Yeah.
The Ivy League has came out and they officially cut football for 2020
Yeah,
season.
that's what I just said. My bad.
Stanford axes 11 varsity sports. North Carolina stops all football practices after 37 positive tests. Ohio State pauses football activities after numerous positive tests. Ohio State don't give their numbers out because they don't want the media to know. The Big Ten is actually talking about getting rid of out-of-conference games.
I
They're
saw
going to
that.
play. The one big question that everyone's talking about is what's going to happen to a team like Notre Dame that doesn't play in a conference.
They don't?
No, they're independent. Who are they going to go play with if they do play?
Aren't they in a conference?
They've never been. This is what's interesting. The Ivy League, they generate $36 million alone in football revenue. The Big Ten revenue is $1 billion. So they're a small school. So
That's
they're
crazy.
They're,
I mean, the
they're
only
just-
thing about Michigan holds 100,000 people. Penn State's whiteouts are huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a lot of money, man.
The Sixers, they just reported down to Orlando today. They left. Joel Embiid had his 7-foot Tyvek suit on, all
I saw
masked
that.
up, ready to go. The thing about them when they go down to Florida, every team has to go through a 2-day period of where they have to be quarantined for 2 days. There's what team was it? The Denver Nuggets is already complaining about their hotels.
I see people on Instagram, they're bringing their PlayStation, their Xbox. They're bringing, like, 4 shoes or shoe collectibles. Like,
Well, who was it that took 60 pairs of shoes down there? Somebody took 60 pairs down.
Had to be PJ Tucker.
Rondo's complaining about his hotel. He said it's like a Hotel 6. Hotel 6 actually responded to him, said, we'll leave the lights on for you.
What's Hotel 6?
That's a hotel chain. You know, the one that always says, we'll leave the lights on for you. James Harden and Westbrook did not fly down with the team. They're going to report later on. Who's the other one? Kawhi Leonard. He did not go down with his team.
Why aren't they going down with their teams?
Kawhi has a family emergency that he's taking care of. He's going down after. Jaylen Brown from the Celtics. This is actually interesting. He's bringing his own hyperbaric sleep chamber to the hotel room to sleep in, which is really, really freaking cool.
That's cool. That virtual reality thing that Andrew was talking about, that seems pretty cool. Imagine hooking that up and, like, seeing, like, a Roldis Chapman pitch coming in, seeing how good you are, seeing if you could time it up.
Yeah.
We'll stick with MLB though. Obviously, you know, we said Buster Posey's opting out. He just got. They're about to adopt two girls, but they're premature.
Mm-hmm.
So he said it was a tough. I actually have what he said. He said, from a baseball standpoint, it was a tough decision. From a family standpoint, and feeling like I'm making a decision to protect our children, I feel like it was relatively easy, which I do agree with. You think there's a lot of players, even Mike Trout. Mike Trout's on the fence right now. I think he's like one of the face of
Yeah.
baseball. You know,
He-
he wants to be there for his baby that's getting
Yes.
born. And you think if he's going to be at the games, he gives the risk of bringing the COVID to that baby and his wife. It is tough for a lot of these players, man. If I was a family man.
You know, Chris Bryant's another one. He's not happy. He said that the lackadaisical testing that's going on in camp, it's not acceptable. Guys are coming in at different times. They get tested up to 9 days later before they get the results. You know, at this period,
could be sick by
you're
then.
around everybody. If you're asymptomatic, you're not showing any symptoms, but you have it, you're spreading it. You know, he's one of the ones that are really cracking back down on the MLB. We're 2 weeks away from a start.
As much as I'd want to play, I'd be a little nervous too. You know what I mean? Boston, I showed you the video, but for anyone who's listening and didn't see, Boston Red Sox have been practicing with blaring, you know, real game audio in their stadiums and like people cheering. Like if someone just hit a home run or scored, they play the crowd roaring and then they play music. And it honestly was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It sounded realistic. And I was saying, like, you know, during the game while the pitcher's pitching, like they could just have audio from a regular game, almost like there's real fans in the stands. I thought that was so cool.
Well, MLB came out and they said the two teams that have the worst travel schedule are the Texas teams, the Rangers and the Astros, because they're so far away from where everyone else is going to be playing. You know, they play all those West Coast teams. You think about the Yankees. They know it's a train
all the East
ride,
Coast.
to Boston. You know, they can take a subway over to the Mets. You know, they can take a bus down to Philadelphia.
Yeah,
you know,
for
they
real.
could fly to Atlanta in like an hour or so, and then they fly to Florida. Florida and Toronto are probably the furthest places they have to go.
Toronto's right there, though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like-
it's not that far of a flight, but I'm just saying that, you know, these East Coast teams are really going to benefit from this.
And then Toronto came out. I was reading this to you before the podcast. They're threatening that
Yeah, this
if
is really,
any
they,
of
they
their
need to do this
if any
now.
of their players leave the hotel or baseball field or seen, off field, they have the chance to get fined up to $750,000 and could possibly even do jail time. Which I get the fine.
I don't know about jail.
Jail time is like a little
Yeah.
too much.
Well, Canada has their own laws up there and rules
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But this
Imagine you snuck off to see your wife. Oh, you're going to jail.
But this is what they need to have in the NBA. They need to have. I mean, they have 130 pages worth of rules, but who's going to enforce them? You need security guards down there. You need everything down there. And the thing that really kills me about being in Orlando now, Disney World just came out yesterday and said, you know what, screw it, we're going to open up Disney World now. So now you have soccer down there, you have soccer teams down there, you have basketball teams down there trying to quarantine, and Disney World just said, and Disneyland just said, we're going to open.
Hey, they got to make money, right?
One more COVID note. Over the last couple of days, the USA has averaged over 60,000 cases. That is the largest daily total since this whole thing started.
It's a lot of South states, too, that are getting hit hard. Like you said to Andrew, it's a lot of the South. It's like they opened up first. We waited up here. I still feel like PA is doing very well. But down South, man, they're getting hit hard right now compared to what we were getting. I feel like they didn't get it as bad as we were at first because, like you said, we had New York, we had New Jersey, and now they're getting it really bad. I mean, you said 9,000. No, you said 100 people dying a day.
Yeah, and that's a crazy stat because no one, everyone's looking at those totals and saying, well, we almost have 3 million cases, and there's I don't know, maybe 200 some thousand people died, but that's still a lot of people. That's still a lot of people dying. Yes. And the thing is now you're seeing younger people die. You okay? You're crying over there,
dude. My eye was twitching. I was yawning. My eye was twitching. I'm tired. I have something I want you to rate. So I have 4 QB wide receiver duo things. And I want you to rate them from 1 to 4, 1 being the best. So you have Drew Brees and Michael Thomas. You have Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, Aaron Rodgers and Adams, and Kyler Murray and Hopkins. Start with your number 4. We'll go up. You give me your 4, and you give me your number 4, and I'll give you my number 4.
I gotta write these down. What are they?
You got Drew Brees, Michael Thomas.
That's last.
You got Mahomes and Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Then you got Kyler and Hopkins. And you got Rodgers and Adams. That's tough. That's tough. I think I got my number 1, and it ain't my team either.
All right.
I'll give you my number 4 right now. My number 4 is Aaron and Adams. Only reason they're number 4 is because, number 1, I mean, both of them are usually injured. Aaron's been injured. Adams, I feel like, is injured almost every year.
See, I'm going to disagree. That's not disagreeing. It's your opinion, my opinion. I'm going to say number 4 is going to be Kyler and Hopkins, just because they never played together before.
That's true, but I feel like Hopkins is such a good receiver.
He is a good receiver.
If he could do good stuff with,
but
bad quarterbacks that come in for a game or two.
Yes, but I'm still, until I see it, and with all the weapons they have there, I'm going to go Kyler and Hopkins are number 4.
My number 3 is going to be Kyler and Hopkins, just because, like what you said, it's a little inexperienced, but I still think they're going to be good.
My 3 is going to be Rodgers and Adams.
Yeah.
I think if you go back 4 years ago,
they're great together. Don't get me wrong.
Rodgers would probably be. I'd have him closer to number 1.
This is my thing. Is like Rodgers and
Adams isn't there that long.
How
long is he there?
How long has he been there?
Like 3 years.
At least 3 years. When he's healthy, they're good. My number 2 is gonna be Brees and Thomas. I can't give them number 1. And I have Brees over Rodgers, and obviously Brees has the better accuracy over Kyler, and I just think he's a better quarterback than Rodgers, in my opinion. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but I have to give Mahomes and Hill number 1 only because Mahomes has this cannon of an arm, and you have Tyreek Hill, who is literally like a cheetah, who can run from 0 to 60. You know what I mean?
I just think Mahomes, no matter who his receiver is, he has to be 1. Mahomes does things that we've never seen a quarterback do.
No look pass.
Yeah.
Shuffle passes.
He very well could be a 2-time Super Bowl champion, or if they wouldn't have had, the whole overtime thing sucks. They didn't even get a chance to get the ball.
Yeah.
He could easily be a 2-time world champion in football.
I really wish that they would change that overtime rule.
Drew, I'm giving him 2, even though I could easily put Drew in 3. Drew and Rodgers are both working their way out.
Yeah.
Let's face it, Rodgers is probably playing his last year in Green Bay. They drafted a quarterback. The pressure there.
Yeah, good quarterback, real good quarterback. That was a waste of a draft pick.
Yeah, but it's the nature of the business.
We're all saying that. Watch that be a pick like Tom Brady, like you know what I mean.
But I'm telling you, you're gonna watch. Rodgers is pumped, and Rodgers is gonna stick it to the Packers. He's gonna have a great year. I wouldn't be surprised he threw 40 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But
who do you want over Breeze? I mean, when you said you could put Breeze at 3, who'd be number 2?
Rodgers. I'm just saying I could flip
Yeah.
them two. I mean, those two are easily working their way out.
I think Thomas is better than Adams.
And I could easily say, okay, yeah, I could put Kyler at 2. I mean, it's a tough group,
Yeah.
But
I feel like Kyler's too young to put at 2. You know what I mean? Like he's only been in the league 1 year.
Kyler's gonna.
He's done good for a rookie.
That's my hot take. I said they're gonna win that division, and I'm sticking to it. I think they have the weapons there to win that division.
They got good defense too, man. They drafted what's his name? Isabel, I think his name is.
Did you see that Seattle is trying to push to get Antonio Brown?
I did. I saw the rumors of teams denying that they wanted to get Antonio Brown. I did not see the one with the Seahawks trying to get Antonio Brown. Whoever gets him is, when he comes back into the league, is it going to be like he comes in and gets suspended? Because I know the Saints were working out with him last year, and then then you came up and told me that whatever team signs him, the NFL is going to suspend him for 5 to 6 games or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing or?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then another thing I heard today, and then I'm going to go to basketball quick, then we'll go back to football, but they're saying that Jamal Adams is actually getting interest from Seattle and from the 49ers.
49ers would be big because they lost some defense. I heard that Seattle's still trying to get Clowney.
Yeah. I heard Seattle wants him, and I also heard that the Saints and Cowboys want him.
Yeah, we've heard that one. But
Dallas
there's been no movement
Yeah.
after that.
I don't think there's going to be any movement until camp starts. I think if someone gets hurt, then they're going to pick him up. But real quick in basketball, I wanted to mention this Bradley Beal. He's not attending due to an injury. He will be paid for the 8 games, even though he's not going.
Was it the NBA or MLB that was looking into people sitting out and talking about maybe possibly paying for him? I think it was the NBA.
The NBA there are people that are sitting out, and because like I just said, Bradley Beal, he's going to get paid for the 8 games. It's because he's injured. Jokic, he's the one that got tested positive over in, I think he was in Serbia or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
He's actually trying to work his way back. He tested negative. I think he didn't travel with the team, so he's trying to get back. With everything going with COVID, it's not easy for him to get a plane back.
Yeah.
The Nets signed Jamal Crawford and Michael Beasley, both of them who haven't played in the NBA all season.
I saw the Beasley one.
Yeah. I didn't realize the Nets.
Wait, what was the first one you said?
Jamal Crawford.
I think that's the one I saw.
The Nets actually lost a lot of players. I mean, Jamal Crawford and Beasley will actually probably be the highest scoring guys on the team.
Kyrie and KD aren't playing.
The thing that's weird about Beasley, though, is Beasley, he's going to play the 8 games, but he's going to be suspended for 5 of them for a past drug fail.
Wow.
So, it's weird.
That's weird.
But, like I said, Kawhi's not there yet. He will be coming. He's taking care of family issues.
Did we talk about how the Patriots signed Cam Newton, and we said multiple times on this podcast how the Patriots aren't going to sign him? I don't think we took. He took a very good minimum deal.
Yeah, I think it was like $7 million, and people are coming out saying it's disrespectful. But he's not even guaranteed to be the starter.
No,
there.
they're coming out and saying that he's not the starter. That they like that guy.
They're Stidham,
yeah.
but they're saying that he might not even make the roster. Anyway,
Cam?
Yeah,
I mean,
saying
Cam isn't going to make the roster. I mean, it's a little crazy.
They're saying it's more of just a backup plan in case something happens. But here is the top QBs for 2020 list that just came out. Number 10 is Stafford.
Really?
Number 9 is Dak Prescott. Number 8 is Wentz. Number 7 is Brady. Now it's funny because this list was made by 50 executives. Some of them were players, some of them were coaches, some of them were scouts. Somebody had Brady as the best quarterback, and somebody had him as the 12th best quarterback in the league.
Interesting.
Number 6 is Lamar Jackson.
I'm surprised he's not top 3.
I'm surprised too. Number 5 is Drew Brees. Number 4 is Watson. Now look, I could put Lamar in front of the next 3. I can put Lamar in front of. Number 3 is Rodgers.
How is Rodgers number 3, man? That bothers me.
Rodgers was good a few years ago.
My thing with Rodgers
I would take Rodgers over Mahomes a few years ago. That's how good he was.
So many people, don't get me wrong, Rodgers is a good quarterback, but so many people, the past 3 years, Rodgers is not a good quarterback. Past 3 years,
no.
And so many people have him better than Breeze, Brady, all these Are you kidding? Lamar? You think? Now is this past? What is this? The past year? Past 10 years? What is this?
This is the list of the best quarterbacks for 2020.
I don't know.
Now I can see him having a good year, like I said, because he's
but
he
he hasn't had that season yet. Like it's not 20. Like we're going into 2020. So if we're going into 2020, we need to look at what happened before 2020. And Rodgers is not number 3.
Like I can put Lamar in front of all of them.
You could put Watson in front of Rodgers if you wanted to.
Everyone likes Watson. I'm not a big fan of Watson.
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah. But number 2 is Wilson.
But another thing too is Brees has been to the playoffs the past 3 years. Rodgers has been to like what 1?
You know how many Super Bowls Drew Brees could have if they went and had that interference call,
man.
and then what happened last year?
A couple of them, yeah.
That missed tackle 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's tough.
Mahomes is number 1, obviously.
Who was number 2?
Wilson.
That's crazy. That number 3 is Rodgers. That bothers me.
Yeah. Now, if you had to pick a quarterback right now for the next 10 years, other than Mahomes, because he signed that deal, but of all the quarterbacks in the NFL right now,
Like if I had to give him a Mahomes deal out right now,
yeah,
out of all the quarterbacks that are right there,
all the quarterbacks that are right there. Well, any quarterback in the NFL, who would you pick?
Well,
I'd pick Kyler.
I wouldn't pick Brady or Breeze, obviously, because they're getting older.
Yeah,
But I'd either pick.
I'd pick Kyler.
I'd pick Russell, or I would pick. Oh wait, I just had it, guys.
Well, Russell's 31, so you give him 10 years, man. You're looking at 41 years old.
Dude, start naming some quarterbacks off because I had a guy in my head. I can't think of him.
Tua, Kyler,
No,
Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Wentz.
I don't know. It's either I had 2 guys in my head. I had Lamar and someone else, and I can't think of it.
Garoppolo.
No.
The guy from the Jets. What the heck's his name? Flat.
Man, dude.
No, I would. If I had to invest right now, if I was the GM and they said you get the first pick, and whoever you take, you're going to give a 10-year deal to, definitely Kyler. I think Kyler really, really shocked a lot of people last year.
I can't think of who I was going to pick, but I think I'd go Lamar over Kyler.
Well, Lamar's another one. He's only, 23 years old?
Yeah. It's bothering me. I can't think of...
Tua might be another one that you can invest in.
I mean, we've never seen Tua play the whole. Go ahead, you talk it up a little bit. I need.
These are the standings, and this was really interesting because I didn't realize how many wins New England Patriots had over the last decade. But I heard this on 105.3 The Fan today. They were talking about the teams over the last decade. I'm going to ramble off all the standings of these teams, starting with Cleveland. Cleveland is dead last.
I was thinking either Deshaun Watson or Lamar, because I feel like Deshaun.
If I'm going to invest in Watson, then I might as well invest in Dak, because I think Dak could be a better quarterback than Deshaun.
With Lamar, I hope he stays healthy. I hope that he doesn't get injured running.
Yeah,
that's my biggest fear with him. But that's who in my opinion, it'd either be Lamar or Watson.
Well, the worst team over the last decade, of course, is your Cleveland Browns. They've won 42 games, lost 117, and tied 1.
That's a terrible record.
Coming in after them is the Jacksonville Jaguars with 51 wins. Imagine being a fan of these teams over the last decade. 51 wins.
What is a decade? Is 10 or 12?
10 years. Oh, my God. How are you going to edit that out for you?
No.
Jacksonville is 51 and 109. Tampa Bay comes in at 59 and 101. I think they're going to go on a run. They're going to turn those numbers around. Washington Redskins is 62, 97, and 1. The Oakland Raiders, 63-97. The Jets, 68-92. Tennessee, 69-91. They're actually tied with Miami.
Is there any team above 500?
69-91. The Giants, 70-90. The Bills, 71-89. Detroit, the Bills are going to turn that around too. Detroit, 72-87-1, which is shocking.
Wow,
I actually
so they're
thought
better
they
than
would
the
be
Giants.
lower. Yeah, the Rams 73-86-1, the Bears 76-84.
Look at the Bears, look at them.
Arizona 75-83-2, the Chargers, which is shocking too, 77-83. Cincinnati 77-81-2.
This is their record over 10 years.
10 years. Carolina 78-81-1, the 49ers 80-79-1, first team over 500. Houston 82-78, the Colts 82-78, the Vikings 81-77-2. Dallas comes in at number 11 at 86-74. Philadelphia comes in at number 10, 87-73. See, Dallas should have won that game last year. We'll be tied with the Eagles. Atlanta comes in at number 9 at 89-71. Denver, which actually shocks the hell out of me, has 89 wins, 71 losses.
What do you think about Peyton Manning there?
Yeah, Kansas City 96-64, Baltimore 98-62, the Saints 160.
That's a great. Yeah, let me just take a moment. Sean
Okay, there it
Payton.
is.
Sean Payton has an amazing record, above 500.
Okay.
It's
Seattle,
a great team.
159-1.
What?
159-1.
I thought you said 150-1.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, sitting there at number 3, 102 wins, 57 losses, 1 tie. And your top
when I
two
was in high
teams,
school, man, they were always good.
top 2 teams of the decade in the NFL is your New England.
New England's number 1.
The Green Bay Packers at 102, 56-2, and the best team in football for the decade, New England, at 125 wins and 35 losses. That is crazy. That is a hell.
That's why they
That
had
is
a
a
dynasty.
hell of a standard.
That was a dynasty. That's why they have 6 Super Bowls. Think about it. Think about how many Super Bowls they went to.
That is nuts.
I just got breaking news here, by the way, that the Eagles are penalizing Deshaun Jackson. He is disciplined for conduct
Detrimental.
for the team. Discuss concrete plans for how to heal moving forward.
There's a lot of people in the NFL coming out and saying,
That was wrong.
Yeah. And Julian Edelman said that he wanted to take him down to
Yeah.
Washington and go to the Holocaust Museum and the African American Museum together.
Malcolm Jenkins came out and said it was wrong. He said a lot.
I think the only one that's actually supporting him is Steven Jackson, which is shocking.
No, so is
because-
Shannon Sharp. You have a lot of people who are coming out and saying, listen, like, we're in a big movement right now. We're trying to move forward. Why are you attacking other religions to bring us back down? You know, we're moving forward. I have actually what Julian Edelman tweeted. He tweeted that Deshaun and I spoke for a while last night. We're making plans to use our experiences to educate one another and grow together. Stay tuned. He said Friday that he's been in contact with him and they want to educate each other with the Jewish and black communities. Deshaun Jackson actually met with a group against anti-Semitism yesterday, and he's meeting with a 94-year-old Holocaust survivor. He's trying to educate himself. Obviously, you just said that they wanted to make plans on going to the Holocaust Museum, and I think it was the African Culture Museum, something like that.
I just don't understand what like Steven and Jackson and them are thinking. You know, they want to have peace and they want to have everyone unify and come together, but you know, they won't condone what he said. You know, it's ridiculous. Now, if it was somebody of another color saying it, they'd be up in arms over it, and that's the problem I have with today's world. Either you're in all the way and you want change for everything and you want peace amongst the people, or you're just blowing smoke up people's asses and you're just doing this for attention.
Yeah.
You know, there's more and more people of color that are actually against Black Lives Matters, against the movement, what they stand for. They say they don't represent us. They've done nothing good for our community. They've done nothing good for the black race. They actually support and donate to Planned Parenthood, which kills black babies, which is absolutely disgusting. So there's more and more people getting away from the Black Lives Matters and coming out, and they're trying to get unity. They want unity, but the way it's going on now, like what's going on in New York and all these places, it's not happening. But back to the NFL. The NFL actually came out with an 11-page game guideline saying no jersey sharing, and a lot of people are up in arms about that, saying, you know what, we can go out there and battle for 60 minutes, but we can't swap jerseys.
You beat me to it. That doesn't make. Let's talk about that for a second. How doesn't that make sense? You know, you're sweaty, you're tackling people. You think about offensive linemen, you're blocking, your quarterback licking your hands. You're telling me I can get sweaty with a guy, but I can't give him my jersey?
Well, maybe the jersey's full of COVID. I don't know. No jersey sharing, no personal item sharing like cups, towels, clothes, etc. Players and head coaches not required to wear masks, but everyone else that is not either playing or like backup coaches and stuff like that, they must. All non-playing players must be in designated areas on the bench or in the press box or in the bleachers, wherever they're going to put them. Media is not allowed in the lockers. Cheerleaders, mascots, flag runners, etc. need to be league approved. Players with temperatures of 100.4 will be banned from the stadiums.
The dog's gonna bark because here it is. Noah's just got home.
Oh, and then I heard, I heard the breakdown for Pat Mahomes is I mean, his freaking money is gonna be awesome. Let's see. His new contract, he's actually banned from any off-the-field activities. Jet skiing.
That's stupid.
Basketball playing, baseball playing, anything. It's a huge contract. They do not want him going out, rolling an ankle, and not showing up for camp.
That sucks, dude. You can't live life.
This guy is going to make bank. I mean, daily, he's making $138,000 a day. He's making over $5,000 an hour.
That's crazy.
$96 a minute. You think about it. He can take a crap and make close to $1,000
Bam.
taking a crap. But I heard something oh yeah, you know what? Another thing too. And this is one of my stats. They had an over and under for quarterbacks. There's only 4 quarterbacks that have won more than 3 Super Bowls, and they say Mahomes is gonna be the next one to do it. Troy Aikman won 3, Joe Montana won 4, Terry Bradshaw won 4, and Tom Brady won 6. Those are the only multiple winners. That's how hard it is to get to the Super Bowl.
It is very
only
hard.
multiple. But I heard an interesting stat today too, and I hate to jump around, but Patrick Mahomes' salary, he could take all the contracts in the WNBA, every single one of them, buy them out, and pay those players for 20 years with the salary that he had.
That's crazy.
That's beyond crazy. That is beyond crazy.
Just think about how many people are struggling in this world, and he is getting that much money. I mean, good for him. Good for him. I'm happy for him.
Ezekiel Elliott finally did something good. I'm not saying that he hasn't.
When he came out against that guy, and so that guy faded because he said he's not a top 10 running back.
No, he said, well, the whole faded thing is Zeke was playing on Twitch or whatever, and he said, man, I'm faded, meaning he was high.
Yeah.
But he actually came out and donated $85,000 to the food banks down in Texas. It's going to feed over 400,000 families. That's a good thing.
That's good. It's good, man. I don't know. You can say Zeke isn't a top 10 quarterback when he's gotten
running back.
I think it was like 1,900 consecutive handoffs or something like that, or plays. There was this crazy stat, and I was just like, a guy that has 1,000 yards rushing almost every single year, and this anonymous coach is saying how he's showing signs of decline. And
well, no, they did the same thing. This like the quarterback ranking I did. ESPN did the best
it was an
backs.
anonymous coach that said he's not a top 10 running back.
No, they're saying he's slowed down. His burst is gone. I think it's bull. You know, he is still ranked number 3 in the league.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
They said Christian McCaffrey and Barkley were ahead of him, which I'm shocked because Barkley's been injured a good couple of times already. I mean, Zeke has dealt with injuries and suspensions, but I just don't think Barkley's better than Zeke yet.
No, and I don't think we went over that stat before. Zeke's carried the ball more than 4 players total in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So, you know, he has been running around and taking a beating. He does. You know, Zeke's not the kind of runner that's going to run out of bounds. He's going to hit you, and that's where they're getting most of their stats from. They're seeing the contact after the run and all this and all that. It wears on you. The good thing is Zeke is actually getting, you know, a lot of rest here, a lot of time to not going through camp and stuff.
He's playing a lot of video games.
I think he's gonna be fine. I really do.
A lot of video games.
Yeah. Anyway, 2 weeks till baseball, baby. We get something back to finally cheer about.
He's gonna have a belly when he comes back.
No, I don't care. As long as he runs through that line, he can have a big belly. I don't care.
But at least he had a belly.
Yeah. Anyway, we have been blowing up on Twitter. Thank you, everyone that follows us on Twitter.
We have almost 10 blue check marks following us on Instagram. It's been such a blessing.
And while we were downstairs prepping for the show, we actually have 2 more athletes that want to come on. Things have been really, really looking good for us. We were going to have Macy Chiasen on Tuesday night. Something happened. I don't know if she got called to Fight Island or what, but she was planning to come on, and then communication stopped, and she hasn't been on Twitter, so I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah. But she's ranked number 12 right now at 7-1 or 6-1 in her division.
6-1.
She's in Emmanuel Nunez's division, so we were working things out to get her on. Macy is one hell of a fighter.
And then we just won't name the other athletes because I don't want to give anything else. I mean, you're just giving our athletes away right there.
I don't care. Maybe they'll tune in. Maybe they won't. Don't matter. They're still going to do it. We're still going to be up and doing it. But it's been a hot minute, and I'm glad that we're done.
Yeah. It was a good podcast today, guys.
Friday night, fun night.
Yeah, it's currently Friday night, 6:51. Hasn't stopped the raining at all today. It's been so ugly, but this podcast will be up on all the platforms. YouTube.
Andrew, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Andrew. YouTube will be up in usually the next day, but we hope you guys continue to spread the love. We appreciate it so much. And
follow and share. Follow and share.
We will see you guys next time.
Peace.